Hey YouTube, what's up? Long time no see. I know it's been a hot minute, right? That's another video, all right? We won't get into that. I want to show you guys something. I am very happy to receive this. I haven't been this excited to get a piece of mail since my very first credit card. I remember when you received your very first credit card, you were super happy. It came in the mail. You can almost feel it through the, well, not almost, you can actually feel it through the envelope. And you ran inside and you ripped it. Well, anyway, that's besides the point. This is what I want to show you guys. I just want to cover up some sensitive information here. Ta-da! Let me just make sure I'm not reflecting. Okay, I think I got it. All right, see that? Global entry. And that is exactly what this video is about. So I finally got my global entry card, as you can see, in the mail. It came today. When I went to the mailbox, obviously, I saw the envelope, got super excited, and I can feel the card through the envelope. And obviously, just like that first credit card, you run inside, you open it up, it's like, there it is, I got it. Anyway, this video is about my experience, as if you're going through this process right now. I'm sure you've watched plenty of YouTube videos on the application process, more importantly, the interview, right? What is that experience like? Now, when I was in waiting, I watched quite a few YouTube videos too, and most of them weren't the most positive, right? You hear these experiences about people, you know, I guess going through the interview process, and it was kind of lengthy. It was like, you know, being grilled. You know, I heard that several times. I was grilled while I was in there. The CBP officer wasn't the most friendly, and, you know, kind of like getting interviewed by the IRS or CIA or something like that. And there were obviously other videos that tell you, hey, it was very smooth, very easy, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to just go straight to the chase. That was my experience. My experience, to be quite honest with you, I was in and out, I would say 4 minutes. Not even 5. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hope I did that right because I'm not watching my fingers. 4 minutes, I was in and out. But I want to give you guys some background. I want to give you a date. The date is October 28th. No, sorry, October 29th. October 29th, 2010. That's basically just over 10 years ago. Today is November 9th. Today is November 9th, 2020. So, this process slowly started 10 years ago for me. Now, I don't mean that literally. It's just that I discovered, because I didn't read all the fine print, that if you have a little bit of an infraction on your record, basically when you go into the global entry process, they can deny you because of that. And in fact, they will deny you. They won't, they're just, you're denied, sorry, next, you know, one of those. So what happened? How did I pass and get approved? Well, I'm going to tell you. So this started for me, well, the actual start date was November of 2019. In October of 2019, I just flew back from Vietnam. So I was out there for about 3 weeks, came back into the country. I'm going through Customs and Border at Dulles Airport, and I happened to get a very friendly customs officer, and he was just telling me all about the global entry program. I never heard of it up until that point. He's just like, are you going to be traveling a lot? I said, yeah, I do see that in my future. I said, yeah, I definitely have plans to travel outside the country again and maybe do this at least once a year, if not twice. And he says, great, you need to apply for global entry. So that's how it started. So it wasn't until the following month, November of 2019, is when I actually did the physical application on the TTP, or Trusted Traveler Program website, as most of you have probably already done. And it wasn't until August of 2020, that's when I got my conditional approval notification. And that's when I was able to schedule my interview, right? So from November of 2019 through August of 2020, it took that long before I finally became conditionally approved. And then it was just a matter of having my interview, which was a moment too, because remember, we're in a pandemic. So my original appointment was in New York City at the time. That was the nearest office that I could go to have my interview in New York City. Now I live in the Washington, D.C. metro area. Technically I live in Virginia. I'm right on the border of Washington, D.C. So that was the nearest. And then TTP is really good, as you guys probably know. They keep you updated with emails, right? So I received the email about a month later saying that more offices were now open And so I went online to check them out, and sure enough, there was one in Baltimore, heck of a lot closer to New York City. So then I scheduled myself for Baltimore. And then, I don't know, 2-3 weeks later, another email came through about additional offices now being opened up. And this is, again, that August, September time frame. So I guess the pandemic was kind of cycling down, but also cycling back up. But more offices were open, and that's my point. And I happened to catch sight that in Washington, D.C., which is a heck of a lot closer than Baltimore, at the Ronald Reagan building, they had openings. So I scheduled myself for October 28th, 2020. That was my interview date. And that's when I went down to the Ronald Reagan building. If you've never been, very beautiful government building. Check it out. I actually think it's on the tourist map. But anyway, that's besides the point. I go down there. Here's my experience. I walk in, and there was one lady in front of me. And she was there already, obviously, but by the time I walked through the doors, they were calling her. And I think I waited all of 20 seconds and they called me in. Now, if I remember correctly, there were 3 custom agents there, and they all had their own little, I guess, cubby or section that you would stand in and they would do the interview. And you're just standing there. You don't actually go into an office and sit down. Maybe for some people, but for where we were at, you just kind of stand at this little podium and they do the interview with you. And just keep in mind, now I just want to state the date. This is October 28th, 2020. And not to bring up anything negative, right? I'm not trying to be negative or say anything left or right. But this country is very politically divided, that we know. But also, as you guys know, with all of the racism, systemic racism, they keep calling it, that we are experiencing in this country. Now look at me, I'm a black man, right? I'm an African-American black man, all right? Now, this didn't cloud anything in my head. It was in the back of my head, back of my mind, I guess I'll say how they say it. But I was very positive going in there. I was super excited, to be honest with you. I was really like the morning of October 28th, I got up, I did all your morning stuff, brush your teeth, get ready. I just couldn't wait to get out there. I got there super early because I was that excited to finally have this interview. So I was nowhere near the negative thinking, but it was in the back of my mind, right? How is this going to go? This country is so divided on so many fronts. Is this going to be an easy interview? It's going to be a hard interview? For me, it was very easy. I walked in there, they called me in. The guy greeted me with a really, because he wasn't wearing his mask, but they had those barriers, like you see in the retail, those glass or plastic barriers. So he wasn't wearing his mask, but he was behind that barrier. I remember these 4 questions. So they ask you for your name. They ask you for your date of birth or to verify that. They ask you for your passport. And he asked me for the name of my employer. And that's when I got not from my employer, but he's looking at the screen that's in front of him. And, they can see all of your data, obviously. And he asked me about October 29th, 2010. So basically 10 years ago, minus 1 day. Because it's October 28th, 2020. He's asking me about October 29th, 2010. I hope I'm not confusing you guys. But anyway, I let him know what happened. He goes, okay. He goes, hey, we were all young at one time. He says boys will be boys, men will be men. He says we all have a little dirt on us. No biggie. It's a misdemeanor. The court didn't hold it against you. I'm not going to hold it against you. He says, do me a favor. And that's when he told me, if you have any type of, I guess infraction is what I'm going to say, but mine was a misdemeanor. Any type of infraction, you will automatically deny your global entry. He didn't do that, right? He says, look, you're 1 day away. He says, when you hit your 10 years, it drops off. It all falls off. Well, I was 1 day away. This was October 29th, 2010. I'm sitting in front of him October 28th, 2020. So basically minus 1 day. He says, don't worry about it. He's like, I can't approve you right now because that's still there. He says, here's my business card. Here's my email address. I want you to email me on October 30th to remind me, and I will go ahead and approve you. And you'll get your card, which is in here, in the mail in a couple of weeks after. That's exactly what I did, and that's exactly what happened. I received my card today. That was my experience, folks. So while there's a lot of videos out there saying that, some people saying they were grilled, they got the 20-question experience. Others are saying, no, it was pretty simple. Well, I'm telling you, As a black man in America on, what's today? Today is November 9th, 2020. 2 weeks ago, me going through this process with Customs and Borders, and obviously to get my global entry approval with an infraction on my record that was due to expire in 1 day. It was easy. I happened to get just the right person who made it very smooth and very easy. And I can't say enough about wow and thank you. That's all I can really say there. That's my experience. For those of you still waiting for your conditional approval, still waiting to get your card. Oh, by the way, like a credit card, you have to activate this puppy, right? I thought it was just a plastic card that had some numbers in your photo, but no, it's actually a live card. Well, not live like living, but kind of like a credit card, even a license. This envelope is an RFID protective envelope, and this comes with your card, right? As you can see, it has the TTP information on it, front and back. There we go. And they want you to keep it in here. Now, obviously, you don't carry this card with you in your everyday, like in your wallet. You keep it at home. You only use it when you're traveling. But the information that it comes with it is a little brochure that says put it in the protective sleeve and keep it safe, and only use it when you're traveling. Because it does have, it says electronic sensitive personal data is the word that it uses, or the wording that it's using there. So I wish you all great success. The application will take longer than normal, probably because of the pandemic. Unfortunately, we're heading into more cases of COVID than less, so it may be more of a wait. I hope it's not that long for all of you. I do hope it's as short as it possibly can be. I was willing to travel to New York City to do my initial interview. From where I'm at, that's about a 5-hour drive. I was glad that they were able to open up first Baltimore, but then secondly, they had one right there in Washington, D.C., which took me about, 40 minutes to get to by train. I didn't want to drive, so I decided I'll take the metro. But anyway, I'm glad it's over. I can't wait till I can use it again. When will that be? I have no idea. I do have reservations that I scheduled back in January of this year, January of 2020, to travel back to the Philippines. And so that is in March of 2021. I have reservations to travel to the Philippines. Now, will I be able to use it? I don't know. It all depends on what's happening at that point in time with this pandemic, and if we will have a viable, effective vaccine. But when I do get to use it, I am going to be so happy to use this card. I can't say enough about it. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. I hope all goes well with you. Again, a little patience. You will get there. And I hope that your global entry interview went as smoothly as mine. I really do. With that said, later, guys. You guys have a great one. Bye.